As we are approaching the end of the show, Mahmoud, I have many more questions, but we can do we can do that another time. So my question is, and that's we stay a little bit in the same realm. I just saw an interview with Jeffrey Sachs, who we are going to see here tomorrow in Hong Kong. We're going to have a dialogue here at the university. And he said something very interesting. He said that of all the countries around the world, only China, Russia, and Somalia condemned the attacks on Iran. And that is very fascinating because it also makes me think about how little pushback there is against Israel and the United States. The rest of the world, in my opinion, is very passive right now, or I could say already for about almost 3 years, passive in the wake of a genocide, passive in the wake of mass slaughter around the region. And I wonder what is going on here, Mahmoud. Would you say it's the power of the Israeli lobby? Is everybody scared of Netanyahu? Is everybody scared of US empire? I'm so baffled that there's so little pushback against the horrors that are being inflicted on Palestinians and people in the region in general. What do you think is the reason of this?
That's firstly a very important observation from Jeffrey Sachs. Not only that, see, this is where it gets worse. So the reason that happens, by the way, is because the attack isn't restricted to Israel, it's also the United States. And many countries, it's as if they don't want to upset the United States so that they don't go on Trump's bad books, because they know how irrational and erratic he is, and a megalomaniac who is going against everyone, including his allies. They didn't want to annoy him. They're viewing him as like this agitated big child bully type figure who they don't want to mess around with in the park or in the schoolyard, because he has all of the tools and he can hit them. So fear is low. Fear is something shameful. Fear is not honorable. So there is no justification for it. The fact that only 3 countries condemned it, and many more countries condemned Iran for the response, shows you the pathetic state of affairs of this world. All Arab Gulf monarchies condemning Iran, the double standard hypocritical genocide supporting Western establishments condemning Iran, anyone who dares to open his mouth against Iran. It's just a festival of hypocrisy. It's a festival of double standards. And they do that for various reasons: to please the American and the Israeli, to hide their shameful, complicit position. So when they are complicit, they will condemn the oppressed, like they condemn the Palestinians. You condemn Iran. Then, not only to hide their complicity, many of them to hide their shameful inaction. So we're living in a circus of hypocrisy. So yesterday and a couple of days ago, I've been speaking about the fact that Iran is standing alone against the American empire as a country. You have other resistance fronts and the people support, but as a country, Iran is doing this on its own. And do you know why Iran is succeeding and will prevail? Because they have prepared for a battle on their own, and they knew the level of treachery of people around them, and they knew exactly how the international system works, and they know that the world is run by power, regardless of any UN and any international law and anything as such. Because all of these institutions are subject to Western influence, and they didn't keep that secret. When the ICC and the ICJ went against Israel and Netanyahu, they threatened Karim Khan in the ICJ, and they sanctioned them, the United States and other countries too. And Western countries weren't even showing the trial about a war criminal committing a live genocide, right? Iran knows that. And in short, Iran is dealing with them with the language that they understand and the language that they have been inflicting on other people simply due to their military superiority and brutality. And that is respond to force with greater force. In many cases, Iran responded with greater force, not just with force. And now we can see concessions. We can see conflicting statements. We can see very, very deep contradictions coming from the American administration about this war of aggression against Iran and the objectives of it and what they have accomplished and what they haven't accomplished. All of that is due to the fact that they're shocked by the level and scale of the Iranian response that will not go anywhere up until they get their demands. And their demands are very fair and very basic. If you want peace, then peace for all. If you want a deal, everyone needs to be treated equally. What was is not what will be, and we have entered a new phase. And they're managing to impose that on the ground, and we can see that with the development of the war and the Iranian response.
Exactly.